The signal began as a soft echo in the dark. It traveled through dead space, crossing empty star systems where even light seemed tired. No one knew how long the message had been drifting, but its fear was clear in every broken sound wave. It was an SOS, weak and damaged, as if the sender had spoken their last words with shaking hands. On a small observation station near the edge of human-controlled space, a young technician named Rami stared at his screens with confusion. The signal kept repeating, but most of the audio was scrambled. Only fragments were clear, fragments full of panic. He called his supervisor, and soon the whole command room was silent, listening. There was screaming in the message. Something crashed in the background. A voice cried out in a language the translators barely understood. And then one final sentence broke through the noise. "We need Deathworlders. Please." Everyone in the room looked at each other. No one spoke. The word Deathworlders hung in the air like a shadow. It was a name other species used for humans, a name humans never asked for, but earned by surviving a planet full of lethal environments, aggressive creatures, diseases, storms, and disasters. Earth was considered one of the most dangerous inhabited worlds, and humans were shaped by it. To most aliens, they were both terrifying and unbelievable. Rami tried to clean the signal, but the transmission ended with a burst of static and silence. The origin point was extremely far, in a sector with no recent exploration. Something there had gone terribly wrong. And someone, somehow, decided that only humans could help. Within hours, Earth called an emergency meeting. Leaders, commanders, and scientists studied the coordinates, the message fragments, and the little information they could recover. Many questions were asked. Who sent this? Why ask only for humans? What threat could make an entire species send a desperate call that crossed galaxies? Admiral Vance, known for his calm voice, finally said the words no one wanted to speak. If they asked for Deathworlders, it means their enemy is something the other species fear too much to face. Soon, a special response team was formed. Soldiers, technicians, medics, engineers, and one advanced AI unit named Argent. Their mission was unclear. Their goal was simple: reach the source of the SOS and help whoever sent it, if they were still alive. The human ship, the Resolute Dawn, lifted into orbit with a quiet hum. The crew felt uneasy. No one knew what waited out there. But humans had always explored the unknown. They had faced storms, plagues, wars, and dark seas on their own planet. Space was only the next challenge. As the Resolute Dawn crossed the boundary of safe human space, the bridge lights dimmed to night mode. Outside the windows, stars moved like sparks on black water. The captain, Mara Hale, watched them with sharp eyes. She was known for her discipline, but something about this mission made her uneasy. She could not explain it. The silence felt too deep. The stars felt too cold. Argent, the AI, displayed the SOS waveform in glowing blue lines. The message origin shows signs of high-energy weapon discharge, the AI said. Large-scale destruction. Probability of hostile contact is above 80%. Mara nodded slowly. And the caller? Any identification. Unknown species. Unknown ship. Only one thing is clear. Extreme fear in vocal patterns. Mara remembered the moment she first heard the signal. The fear in the voice. The hopelessness. It sounded like someone who had already accepted death, yet still begged for help. Set course, she ordered. We answer the call. Hours turned into days. The crew felt something strange during the flight. Small vibrations hit the hull at odd intervals. The ship scanners sometimes picked up shadows, no clear shapes, only faint energy distortions that vanished too fast. At first, the engineers thought it was space dust. But when the patterns grew stronger, no one felt comfortable anymore. One night, as most of the crew slept, a single dark shape drifted behind the Resolute Dawn. It did not emit light. It did not make sound. It simply followed. Watching. Waiting. The ship's sensors tried to detect it, but the object disappeared every time a scanner swept near it. Almost like it was learning. almost like it understood it was being watched. Mara felt the tension growing on the ship. Humans were brave, but even bravery bends when the unknown begins to follow you. She stood alone in the observation deck, staring into the dark behind them. She thought she saw a flicker, just a small movement, but it vanished instantly. Maybe her mind was creating ghosts. Or maybe something real was there. Finally, after a long silent journey, the Resolute Dawn entered the coordinates of the SOS. What they saw made the entire bridge freeze. A ruined star system floated in front of them. Planets scarred by fire. Broken stations drifting like skeletons. Empty ships with hulls cut cleanly open, as if sliced by invisible blades. No lights. No movement. No sign of life. Except one. A faint energy signal flickered from a small object near a shattered moon. It looked like a damaged escape pod, barely working. Mara ordered the team to bring it aboard. When they opened the pod, they found a single alien survivor, thin, shaking, eyes filled with terror. Its breathing was weak. Its body covered in burns and cuts. The alien tried to speak, but its voice cracked. When it finally gathered strength, it raised its head and looked at the humans with pure desperation. "You came," it whispered. "The Deathworlders came." Then its eyes widened, and its voice trembled. You must run. They are coming." The humans moved cautiously through the ruined system. The alien survivor shivered in the med bay, wrapped in blankets, while engineers tried to repair the pod. Mara Hale watched from the bridge, her eyes never leaving the starry black beyond the windows. Every second felt heavier than the last. The silence of the destroyed planets pressed against them, as if the dead system itself were watching. The alien, trembling, finally spoke again. Its voice was weak but urgent. "The Voidborn, they come. They destroy everything. You are lucky to have arrived when you did." Rami, the young technician, frowned. "Voidborn? What are they?" The alien hesitated, looking around like the walls themselves might be listening. "Hunters. They consume worlds, and learn from them. They evolve after every kill. No normal species can stop them." The crew exchanged uneasy glances. Mara stepped forward. "And you think humans can?" The alien's eyes widened. "Yes, you are Deathworlders. You survive what others cannot. You fight differently. Only you can face them." Engineers worked silently on the pod's data core. They tried to extract records, logs, anything that might show what had happened. Smoke and sparks rose from broken circuits. Images of burning planets, broken ships, and strange, shadow-like creatures flickered on the screens. The alien pointed shakily at one of the images. "They came from the void. They move without warning. They kill without mercy." Rami swallowed hard. "How big are they?" The alien shook its head. "Impossible to count. They multiply. They adapt. Every attack makes them stronger." The human crew felt the weight of the warning pressing on them. Mara's hands tightened on the railing. "We'll need full scans. We cannot face them blind." Argent, the AI, chimed in. "Preliminary scans show unusual energy signatures. The system is highly unstable. Presence of unknown matter suggests adaptive threats. Probability of encountering hostiles is extremely high." Rami looked out at the ruined planets. "This place, it's like a graveyard." "Exactly," said the alien. "Everything, everyone, gone. I barely survived because I hid." The crew worked through the night. Sensors and weapons systems were calibrated. Every shield and scanner was pushed to its limits. Outside, the dark planets loomed like giant bones, silent witnesses to what had happened. Mara ordered the ship to circle the destroyed planets, looking for any signs of life or danger. Hours passed. Then, faint movements appeared on the scanners. Shadows gliding between the shattered planets. The crew held their breath. "That's impossible," whispered one engineer. Nothing should move there. The alien growled softly. They are here. The first encounter came quickly. Shadows emerged from the darkness, sleek and fast. The creatures were unlike anything humans had seen. Their shapes shimmered in the weak light, almost invisible, yet terrifyingly sharp. Weapons fired, but the creatures vanished as if the shots never happened. Mara barked orders. Form defensive perimeter. Keep them away from the ship. The human crew fired everything they had. Lasers, plasma, and missiles streaked across the void. Some creatures were hit, some disappeared. Each hit was met with a counterattack, strange energy pulses that shook the resolute Dawn's hull. The alien survivor clutched the edge of the medbay table. You can fight them, but they will keep coming. You must learn. Quickly. Argent's sensors flickered. Multiple hostiles detected. Adaptive patterns recognized. Threat level, extreme. Mara clenched her jaw. Then we fight differently. We survive differently. That's what humans do. The shadows retreated, leaving the crew shaken but alive. The destroyed system seemed to settle again into silence, but everyone knew it was only temporary. The Voidborn were out there, learning, adapting. They would return, and humans had only begun to understand what they were facing. Rami glanced at the alien. How did you survive alone? The alien shook its head. I hid, but hiding won't save you forever. You must strike, or you will join the dead. Mara stared into the darkness beyond the windows. We didn't come here to hide. We came here to fight. The crew nodded, silent but resolute. Outside, the ruined planet seemed calm once more. But in the shadows, eyes glinted, and the Voidborn waited, patient, silent, and hungry. The alien survivor huddled in the medbay, still trembling, while the humans gathered around, eager for answers. Mara Hale leaned on the table, her sharp eyes fixed on the creature. Tell us everything, she said. We need to know what we are facing. The alien's voice was barely above a whisper. They are called the Voidborn. They come from the emptiness between stars, a place we never understand. They are hunters, not like any predators you know. They consume everything, and they grow stronger with every kill. Rami frowned. Stronger? How? They evolve, the alien said. Each time they destroy a planet, each time they kill, their bodies change. They adapt to the weapons used against them. They learn faster than any intelligence you have ever seen. Mara's hand tightened on the edge of the table. So every attack we make will only make them better? The alien nodded slowly. Yes. You must be careful. Most species run, most species die. But you, humans, you are different. You survive, because you fight, because you endure. Rami swallowed hard. That's why they called for Deathworlders. The alien's eyes glimmered. Yes, only those who can survive what others cannot, can stand against them. Only you have the chance to fight back. Argent, the AI, analyzed the alien's data. Biological scans show the Voidborn are adaptive predators. Their nervous system allows instant learning from stimuli. Probability of standard attack effectiveness, near zero. Mara exhaled. Then we need a new plan. Not brute force, but strategy. We must outthink them. The alien pointed to a holographic display of the destroyed system. Look. Every planet they touched, burned. Every station, empty. Nothing lives. They hunt silently, then strike without warning. They are patient, and they wait. Rami traced the paths of the destroyed ships. They left no survivors. Almost none, said the alien. I was lucky, or foolish enough to hide when they attacked. You must not make the same mistakes. They sense fear. They sense hesitation. Do not give them a chance. Mara studied the alien closely. What do they fear? Every creature has a weakness. The alien's hands trembled as it spoke. Light, sound, heat differences, things that are unnatural in space, they notice. But even these are temporary. They learn quickly. Nothing can stop them for long. Rami looked at the displays, seeing the wreckage of entire fleets. So if we fight them head-on, we die. Yes, said the alien. But if you fight differently, if you think differently, you may survive. Mara turned to her crew. Then we adapt. We cannot fight them like normal enemies. We must use the environment, traps, and speed. We must be unpredictable, like they are. Outside, the void seemed endless, but the crew felt its weight pressing against the ship. Shadows moved between the broken planets. The Voidborn were already learning, observing, calculating. They had not forgotten the humans who entered their hunting grounds. Engineers and soldiers began designing defenses. Rami worked on sensors that could detect subtle energy shifts, slight movements in darkness. Technicians developed sound pulses and light patterns to confuse the creatures. Medics prepared for injuries humans had never seen. Mara coordinated strategies that combined speed, technology, and sheer cunning. The alien watched silently, impressed. You are clever. You do not run. That is good. That is why you might survive. As the humans prepared, small disturbances appeared on the sensors, movement patterns that seemed intelligent. Shadows darted past broken asteroids. Ships that had long been dead creaked and shifted in the darkness, their hulls barely visible. Argent alerted, unknown entities detected. Adaptive behavior observed. They are studying us. Rami felt a chill. They are watching and learning. Yes, said the alien. They always watch. They learn from everything. Every mistake you make. They remember. Mara paced the bridge. Then we make no mistakes. We will be faster, smarter, and harder to catch. If they learn from us, we will learn from them. The alien nodded, relief and fear mixed in its expression. Perhaps, you can do what no one else could. Perhaps, the Deathworlders will survive. The first small engagement came without warning. A cluster of Voidborn appeared near a shattered moon, moving silently. Mara ordered the weapons teams to fire, but the creatures vanished before the shots reached them. Then they struck, energy pulses that burned a portion of the Resolute Dawn's shields. The crew realized they were not only fast, they were intelligent. Form defensive patterns. Mara shouted, "Do not let them surround us." The human crew worked with perfect coordination. Lasers cut through dark space. Shields shifted to block attacks. Argent analyzed patterns in real time, helping humans anticipate the creature's movements. For the first time, the Voidborn were met with resistance that they could not immediately overcome. The alien's voice trembled with hope. They did not expect you to fight back like this. Rami watched as the creatures disappeared again into the void. They are learning, but maybe we can learn faster. Mara stared out at the ruined system, her face grim but determined. We are humans. We survive when others die. We fight when others run. And we adapt, faster than any enemy can imagine. The crew knew the battles ahead would be deadly. The Voidborn were patient, intelligent, and lethal. But for the first time, there was hope. For the first time, they realized that perhaps the Deathworlders were not just survivors, they were the galaxy's last chance. Outside, the void waited, silent and hungry, as the shadows of the Voidborn flickered between the shattered planets. And humans, for the first time, were ready to strike back. The Resolute Dawn drifted cautiously through the shattered star system. Every instrument was on high alert. Shadows moved between broken planets, sometimes visible for only a heartbeat before vanishing again. Mara Hale's hands were tight on the command console, her jaw set. She had prepared her crew for this moment, but nothing could truly prepare anyone for the first face-to-face encounter with the Voidborn. Rami and the weapons team monitored the outer sensors. "Captain," multiple readings. They're approaching fast. Too fast for conventional tracking. Mara nodded. Prepare for evasive maneuvers. Shields at maximum. All weapons ready. Argent, help coordinate patterns. The alien survivor, wrapped in blankets in the medbay, whispered something under its breath. Mara leaned closer. What is it? They sense fear, it said. You must not show it. Not even for a second. They strike the weak first, always the weak first. Outside, in the black of space, the first attack came. Dark, twisting shapes burst from behind a burned-out moon. They moved like smoke but struck with the precision of predators. The resolute Dawn shuddered as energy pulses hit its hull. Sparks flew across the bridge. Return fire. Mara shouted. Do not let them surround us. Lasers and plasma beams tore through the darkness. The Void-born shimmered, disappearing and reappearing with terrifying speed. Some were hit, disintegrated, but more came. Every attack seemed to teach them, and the crew realized quickly, they were not only strong, they were learning in real time. Rami's hands flew over the console. They're adapting. Every pattern we try, they adjust instantly. Mara's voice was calm but commanding. Then we fight unpredictably. Fire at different angles. Change speed. Keep them guessing. The first real casualty came without warning. A small attack drone was shredded in seconds. Sparks and fire erupted, and alarms blared through the ship. The crew felt the weight of danger pressing in. Still, they did not panic. That was what it meant to be Deathworlders. Argent's voice cut through the chaos. Analyzing energy pulses. Void-born units are responding to our movements. Probability of containment, low. Suggest adaptive countermeasures. Mara nodded. Do it. All weapons teams, follow Argent's commands. Engineers, reinforce shields at weak points. Everyone else, brace for impact. The battle raged for what felt like hours, though only minutes had passed. Void-born struck from every direction, vanishing before human weapons could finish them. Yet the humans fought with cunning, setting traps using debris, energy decoys, and sudden maneuvers that confused the creatures for brief moments. The alien survivor watched from the medbay, eyes wide. They fight like nothing I have ever seen, stronger than I expected. Clever. Dangerous. They may survive. Rami noticed something. Captain, some of them hesitate when we fire near the debris. They seem afraid of certain energy spikes. Mara's mind raced. Then we use it. Engineers, redirect energy to the external debris fields. Make them dangerous. Force the Void-born into the kill zones. The crew executed the plan flawlessly. Energy surges ignited clouds of broken rock and metal. Shadows of the Void-born approached but then recoiled as the trap activated. Several were destroyed in the first wave, screaming in an eerie sound that echoed through the void. For a moment, silence returned. The shadows recoiled into the darkness, regrouping. Mara knew this was only temporary. They had won a small victory, but the Void-born were relentless. Rami leaned against the console, breathless. We actually hit them. We actually damaged them. The alien's eyes shone with awe. Yes, no one has ever done that. You, humans, you fight differently. You are unstoppable when you choose to be. Mara's face was grim. Unstoppable doesn't mean invincible. They will learn from this. They will come back stronger. Argent spoke calmly. Analyzing. Enemy adaptation rate is high. Next attack probable in minutes. Recommend preparing contingency measures and new traps. The crew moved with efficiency and precision, reinforcing shields, reloading weapons, and preparing for the next wave. Outside, the shadows of the Void-born shimmered in the distance. They were patient. They were learning. They were watching. Mara looked at her crew. Remember this. We are humans. We survive. We fight. We adapt. That is what makes us Deathworlders. That is what makes us different. And that is why we will not die here. The Voidborn retreated for now, fading into the darkness between planets. But every member of the Resolute Dawn knew it was only temporary. The creatures would return, smarter and faster. The next encounter would be more dangerous, more deadly, more unpredictable. Yet there was hope. The humans had proven something tonight. The Voidborn could be fought. The humans could strike back. They could survive the unthinkable. And as the shadows of the destroyed system swirled silently outside, one thing became clear. The galaxy had never seen anything like them. The Deathworlders had arrived. The Resolute Dawn drifted through the ruined star system, its hull still smoking from the earlier battle. Outside, the shattered planets hung like broken teeth against the black void. The crew moved with purpose, but the tension never left them. Every shadow, every faint flicker on the sensors made hearts pound. Mara Hale walked through the bridge, her eyes sharp. The first encounter had been a warning. Brute force alone would not defeat the Voidborn. They were smart, adaptive, and relentless. The humans needed a plan that was smarter than the creatures, a strategy that could turn their strength against them. Rami stared at the scanner displays. Captain, the Voidborn energy patterns. They react differently depending on frequency and intensity. Certain pulses make them hesitate, even retreat slightly. Mara's brow furrowed. Explain. The alien said they react to unusual stimuli. Light, sound, heat. I think we can use that against them. If we combine it with precise traps, we might control where they go. Mara nodded. Argent, run simulations. Determine optimal pulse sequences. Engineers, prepare deployable devices. Argent's calm voice filled the bridge. Simulation complete. Optimal configuration involves high-intensity sonic pulses, coordinated light flashes, and targeted heat gradients. Probability of containment, 75%. Probability of full neutralization, 30%. Adaptive behavior will reduce effectiveness over time. The alien, still weak but alert, watched the preparations. You may succeed where others failed, it whispered. But you must be careful. Every attack teaches them. Every success makes them stronger. You must strike fast, and strike smart. Mara turned to the weapons officer. Set up test traps in orbit around the largest broken planet. Deploy energy decoys and heat projectors. Rami, monitor the Voidborn reaction patterns. Hours passed as the crew worked tirelessly. Deployable devices floated in orbit, barely visible against the shattered planet. Lights blinked, heat pulses flared, and sonic emitters created strange vibrations in the void. Every action was calculated, precise, and dangerous. Rami watched the first Voidborn scout approach the trap. Captain, it's hesitating. The alien gasped. Yes, it is afraid of the pattern. It is learning, but not yet perfect. The scout moved closer, then recoiled as the heat and sound pulses triggered simultaneously. Sparks of energy flared from its body, and it vanished in a shimmer of distortion. Mara's voice was steady. Good. Record the data. We can use this. Now we scale it up. Engineers began preparing a larger trap, combining multiple devices into a network of energy fields around the ruined planets. Every deployment was risky. If a Voidborn attacked too early, the crew could be destroyed. Argent calculated every variable in real time. Deployment complete. Probability of first wave containment, 65%. Probability of adaptation after initial engagement, high. The alien nodded. This is how you fight them, not directly. You make them follow your rules. You make them predictable. Then, you strike. Mara paced the bridge. We can't underestimate them. They will learn, adapt, and return. But we will be ready. We will study every movement, every response. They may be relentless, but we are Deathworlders. We survive. We adapt faster than anything they can throw at us. Hours turned into a day as the crew tested variations of the trap. The Void-born scouts returned in small numbers, probing, studying, and attacking cautiously. Every interaction was recorded. Every reaction analyzed. The humans learned, adapted, and improved their traps. Rami leaned back, exhausted but focused. They're learning from us, but we're learning faster. Every time they change, we change too. The alien smiled faintly. Yes, that is why you may survive. Other species never learned this quickly. You are unique. You fight like nothing I have ever seen. Clever, dangerous, unstoppable if you choose to be. Mara stared at the alien. We choose to be. We didn't come here to die. We came here to stop them. Outside, the void was silent once more, but Mara knew it was temporary. The Void-born were out there, waiting, watching, adapting. Every faint shadow could be another attack. Every disturbance could be the first strike of a larger swarm. But the humans had hope. They had a plan. They had learned the enemy's behavior, discovered weaknesses, and turned the creature's intelligence against them. For the first time, they understood the balance of power had shifted. Rami watched the final test pulse flare across the broken planet. Captain, we can do this. We can fight them. We can win. Mara placed a hand on his shoulder. We have to. We are humans. We survive when others die. We fight when others run. We adapt, faster than anything in the galaxy. The alien's voice was quiet, filled with awe. You may be the first to truly challenge the Void-born, and survive. The bridge fell silent as the crew gazed at the shattered system. Outside, the darkness waited, patient and hungry. But the humans were ready. They had studied, prepared, and adapted. The next encounter would come soon, but this time, they would not face it blindly. The Deathworlders were ready to strike. The void was silent for only a moment. Mara Hale's eyes scanned the shattered star system, knowing it would not last. The sensors suddenly lit up with multiple high-energy readings. The Void-born had returned, far larger, faster, and smarter than before. Every shadow beyond the broken planet seemed alive, moving with deadly purpose. Rami shouted from the console. Captain, they're swarming. Dozens, maybe hundreds, heading straight for us. Mara took a deep breath. All hands, battle stations. Activate every trap, deploy decoys, reinforce shields. Argent, coordinate all defensive measures. This is it, the final test. The alien survivor watched silently, shaking but alert. They are coming for you. They will not stop until everything is destroyed. Outside, the first wave struck. The Void-born moved like liquid shadows, twisting and darting between debris. Energy pulses hit the resolute Dawn's shields, sending tremors through the hull. Sparks flew across the bridge as warning alarms screamed. The crew braced themselves. Fire everything. Mara shouted. Use the traps. Make them follow our rules. Lasers, plasma bursts, and sonic pulses lit the darkness. Traps activated, debris fields ignited, and heat surges flared, catching some of the Void-born off guard. Several exploded, their energy dissipating in eerie flashes. But more kept coming, adaptive, relentless. Rami worked furiously at the sensors. They're learning from the traps. They're avoiding them now, coordinating attacks. Mara clenched her jaw. Then we escalate. Engineers, overload the external energy projectors. Use every device at once. Make the battlefield ours. The ship shuddered as the Void-born attacked in waves. Some struck directly at the hull, others darted around, trying to flank them. The humans fought with perfect coordination, predicting movement, exploiting weaknesses, and using every tactic they had developed. Argent's voice cut through the chaos. Optimal trap sequence activated. Probability of swarm containment, 70%. Probability of void-borne adaptation, high. The alien watched the battle unfold, eyes wide with awe. No one fights like this. You are unstoppable when you choose to be. Mara shouted over the alarms. Focus on the leader. That must be their queen. If we take her down, the swarm will collapse. A massive shadow appeared near the broken planet, larger and more terrifying than anything the crew had seen. The void-born queen moved with intelligence, her body adapting instantly to the attacks. She struck with concentrated energy pulses that tore through decoys and shields alike. Target her, Mara ordered. Concentrate firepower. Do not let her escape. The Resolute Dawn's weapons teams worked together flawlessly. Lasers, plasma, and heat pulses converged on the queen. The energy blasts hit her body, but she adapted quickly, shifting and twisting to minimize damage. Rami's hands flew over the console. Captain, she's too fast. We need a trap she cannot anticipate. Mara's mind raced. Combine everything. Light, sound, heat. All at once. Synchronize with the debris fields. Leave no escape. The crew executed the plan. Energy surged, lights flashed, sonic pulses thundered, and heat fields flared in precise timing. The queen hesitated, caught in the perfect trap. She screamed, a sound that echoed through space, horrifying and alien, before the combined assault tore her apart. The swarm paused, confused without the queen's guidance. Individual voidborn faltered and exploded as the human traps ensnared them. The once relentless attack fell apart under the precision and intelligence of the humans. Mara exhaled, her hands trembling but steady. All weapons, hold position. Monitor for stragglers. Do not lower your guard. Rami looked at the screens. They're gone, the swarm, it's collapsing. The alien survivor slowly approached Mara. You have done what no one else could. You are true Deathworlders. Outside, the ruined star system was silent again. Broken planets and drifting debris were the only witnesses to the battle. Yet humanity had won. The creatures that had devoured worlds, adapted faster than anyone, and struck without mercy had been defeated, at least for now. Mara stood on the bridge, her face lit by the soft glow of the displays. We survived. We fought. We adapted. That is what makes us humans. That is what makes us Deathworlders. No one else could have done this. The alien nodded, awe in its eyes. The galaxy will remember. You saved lives that no one else could. You are heroes. Rami smiled, exhausted. We didn't just survive. We showed them. Humans are not weak. We fight. We adapt. We endure. Mara looked out at the shattered planets, thinking of the battles ahead. The Voidborn were gone for now, but they would return. And next time, the humans would be ready. They had learned, adapted, and survived. They were more than survivors. They were warriors. And in the silence of the void, a single thought echoed in every human heart. When the galaxy calls, the Deathworlders answer. The stars beyond the broken planets shone brighter than before, and for the first time, the humans felt that even in the emptiest reaches of space, their courage, intelligence, and adaptability could make them legends. The void was quiet now. The shadows of the Voidborn had vanished, leaving only drifting debris and burned fragments of destroyed planets. The crew of the Resolute Dawn floated in the soft glow of their ship systems, exhausted but alive. Silence reigned on the bridge, broken only by the hum of machinery and the occasional beep of sensors. Mara Hale leaned against the railing, staring at the shattered star system. "We did it," she whispered, though her voice carried no triumph, only relief. The cost had been high, the danger unimaginable, but humanity had endured. They had faced the impossible and won. The alien survivor stepped forward, still weak, but eyes bright with awe. I have seen many species die. Many civilizations fall. But you, humans, you are different. You fight, adapt, survive. You are the Deathworlders. You are Heroes. Rami shook his head, smiling faintly. We just did what we had to do. We couldn't let them win. No, Mara said softly. We did more than survive. We showed the galaxy what humans are capable of. We are not just survivors. We are warriors. Clever, resilient, unstoppable when we choose to be. Argent, the AI, displayed a summary of the battle. Analysis complete. Enemy neutralized. Probability of recurrence high, but humans demonstrated superior adaptation and strategy. Galaxy-level recognition of capabilities recommended. The alien's voice trembled with emotion. I will send the message. The galaxy must know. Earth's Deathworlders came, and they saved lives no one else could. Many civilizations will respect, or fear, you from now on. Outside, the ruined planets reflected the first faint glimmers of distant starlight. The once devastated system seemed almost peaceful, though scars of destruction remained. Humans had left a mark not only on this system but on the reputation of their species across the stars. Mara gathered her crew on the bridge. Remember this, she said. We are humans. We survive what others cannot. We fight when others flee. We adapt faster than any enemy. And this is only the beginning. There will be more threats, more shadows in the void, but we will face them. And we will endure. The crew nodded, pride and determination shining in their faces. They were ordinary humans in extraordinary circumstances, engineers, soldiers, medics, and technicians, but together they had done the impossible. Together, they had become legends. The alien, still recovering, added, when this message reaches other civilizations, they will know, Earth does not send ordinary soldiers. Earth sends Deathworlders. The galaxy will remember you. Rami looked out the observation window, eyes tracing the ruins of the planets. Do you think they'll return? He asked. Mara's gaze hardened. They will. But next time, we will be ready. We have learned, we have adapted, and we have survived. That is what it means to be human. The alien's voice was quiet, almost reverent. The galaxy will never forget this day. Your courage, your ingenuity, your spirit. You have changed the course of many lives. You are the hope of the helpless. Mara turned from the window to face the crew. This is our legacy. Not the planets we saved, not the victories, but who we are. Humans endure. Humans fight. Humans adapt. And when the galaxy calls for help, Deathworlders answer. Outside, the stars twinkled in the vast emptiness. Somewhere far away, civilizations would hear the tale of what humans had accomplished. The voice of the alien would carry the story across the galaxy. A small, seemingly fragile species from a tiny blue planet had faced the Voidborn, creatures that devoured worlds, adapted to every weapon, and struck without mercy, and survived. For the first time in history, humans were no longer just survivors. They were heroes, legends, and a warning to those who underestimated them. Across the void, other civilizations would watch, in awe and fear, knowing that when humans arrived, the impossible became possible. Mara looked at her crew one last time. Rest now. Tomorrow, we return home. But never forget what we are. Never forget what we can do. We are humans. We endure. We adapt. We survive. And the galaxy will remember us. The alien whispered, almost to itself, the Deathworlders, they truly are different. And somewhere in the dark, where the void stretched endlessly, the memory of the Voidborn lingered. But so did the legend of the humans who had faced them. A species forged on a deadly world, resilient beyond reason, and fearless in the face of the impossible. The resolute dawn turned toward home, leaving behind the silent, shattered system. Humanity had proven its place in the galaxy, not just as survivors, but as protectors, warriors, and the ultimate Deathworlders. The stars stretched ahead, infinite and full of challenges, but the humans were ready. The galaxy had seen what they could do. And from now on, whenever darkness threatened, it would know, Earth's Deathworlders answer the call.